5121. Let's light her up. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I did my first gathering trip this past weekend with a bunch of Coleman collectors. And if you're a Coleman collector, you need to look into other gatherings and meet up around your state. Each state should, or region has their own. But it was really cool to see different things you normally don't see on Marketplace, on eBay. The prices of lanterns are going up on eBay. It's like everybody knows people are trying to collect them, so the prices have gone up. Over the weekend, I was able to take a few lanterns, trade with some people, pick up some new stuff. Right here we have a made in Canada. This is a 5121, and this runs on the little LP gas cans. I say we try it out, see if she'll light up. The mantle is good. There is no holes. Yeah, it looks good. So I put a can in here already. And when you're dealing with the cans, I pulled it out of the picnic stove. So when I pulled the can out, of course, the seal's not good, so it's leaking. So I had to hurry up and come and put it in this and turn it. And there are ways to refill those canisters. I don't have all the pieces. I bought this online thinking it was the right one. It was cheap, very cheap, couple bucks. But this doesn't have the right connections for it. So I'm going to look. I thought this was the one I needed, and it's not. So we'll save that because those can still be used with the 1 pound Coleman tanks. So this will hook up to a 1 pound, but I'm trying to mess with these cans and I'll show you. So this is the cans they run. Back in the day, this is the LP gas, which, as cheap as these are made, I would say that this is like a version of isobutane, just because it's not very thick, so if you have propane in here, propane tanks can handle a lot. This is very thin and just feels very cheap, but they are refillable. And how you refill them, if instead of constantly putting something here in the needle and trying to refill it that way, and you pull it out and all of a sudden you're losing pressure. I was told you put it in the unit, and then what you're going to do is get yourself some copper tubing and a flare tool. You're going to flare out and slide over. You can either find like a generator nut and get the same tubing as like a generator, same thickness. Use that generator nut, get you some tubing, have it come over here, maybe 6 inches or so, and then you're going to want to get, what you probably want to do is find one of those, like a MAP gas torch, because 1 pound bottles can go into there. Now these guys already had this set up, but they had a copper tubing, tied it into the generator over here to a 1 pound bottle with a 1 pound bottle fitting on it, and then you open up your valve, and it'll, whatever's empty, it's gonna even out, so it's gonna push over there. If you have a full bottle of 1 pound, that's gonna push it faster. If you got a bottle of 1 pound, so when you open it up, you're gonna hear noise, you're gonna hear stuff transfer, and it probably takes like 30 seconds. When you don't hear anything no more, go ahead and shut her down. If you want to get the most out of your can, you can put these in the sun, put the tank in the refrigerator or the freezer, and that way you're pulling more. But if it's something where you can make something that takes you like 2 minutes to make, I wouldn't worry about trying to fill the can to max capacity. I'd fill it up. Once you don't hear no more, rock with it. I wouldn't put these to 100% fill. You know, if you got an 80% fill, that's good. These are old cans. You know, they got to be over 50 years old. I think they stopped making a lot of the stuff in the 70s and 80s that took these. So you got to find them, and when you find them, they're most time empty. And if you do find them full, um, it's the price of your left kidney. So, but I figured we try it out. We just making sure. Oh yeah. Yep, we're good. Check out those gatherings. I met a lot of cool friends. Cheers. Wow, that was hot. But yeah, if you're no matter where you're at in the country, I'm sure there's a Coleman collectors page. I found mine on Facebook. I just searched, Coleman collectors around Michigan, and it popped up that there's a page. There's different places in Ohio too that you can go, and they have Coleman collectors and meets. I just did the one in Michigan. All right, let's see what we can do here. So everybody knows my red torch. The red torch is missing. It's not lost. It's just hiding, and I don't know where it's hiding at. So I'll have to look through all my bags that I took to the campground and see if I can find it. And this one I got from a smoke shop. No good. I don't recommend it. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Actually, let me bring you around. I'll show you this. I always wondered, you have your Coleman sticker. Wouldn't you want it right here? So when you're turning on and off, you can see everything. And it can't go because over here is like the embossed logo. And it only clips on this side. So if it did, see there's the can. That's how it rocks. It's got the little raised portion to keep it pushed up. But at least give me that or that setup. But no, you got to turn it. Locks in place, and then you turn it over. So kind of unique. As what I was told from this model is we're looking at the late, they didn't date these, but late 50s, early 60s. Look at that vent. Cherry. Look at this. On the top here, I'm talking a little bit of surface rust, and that could clean out with just some brush. Got the 550 globe. Hopefully that's the right one. If not, let me know in the comments. But this was another gentleman had it there and thought it was different. Everybody it's a love-hate relationship with the LP canisters. If you have them, it's fine. But if you don't have them, it's kind of it's no good because it's hard to find them. How I found mine were, I bought a picnic stove. One came with it. Bought another picnic stove. 2 came with it. And do I have any more of those? No, I just have three cans. Alright. Unlike these guys right here, we got to pump it and all that jazz. There's nothing on here. Only thing you have is a cleaning tool. And let's see if we can... Not a good lighter. Horrible. I gotta find my red one. There we go. And the fluids, it's not full, because I don't like to do them all the way full. Get the little air pocket, but it's halfway full, and it's like click, click. Hard time. All right, here we go. Actually, let's We don't really need to, but we'll help this generator out a little. Just kind of go up and down. Get it warmed up. If I had my red lighter, this would already been going. Alright, let's give it a try. There we go. Just gonna crack it. Let everything get up to temp. Clean that out. Beauty. You know, I like having all different kinds of lanterns. Gas, propane. They were all built for a specific reason. The gas one was built to take anywhere. And some of them can take any fluid. Where you're using this propane, you run out and you don't have another, that's it. But with the gas, you can always refill it. You know, you can refill these, but what if you only have one tank? Let's get this globe put on. This vent's cherry. Where's my lines? There we go. Super cool. Like I said, it's not the most sought after lantern, but it's another one I can add to my collection. No matter what it is, you know, Coleman, non-Coleman. If it's a GPA, I want to try to fire it up for you guys. So I'm trying to give you a little mix of everything here. Friends, cheers. You see it? Yep. I picked up 242B, January of 1940. Barn find. But I think she'll clean up nice, real nice. No it's just dirty. Bottom's clean. Look at that, 1940. Got the little spark deal. See if it works. There we go. See it? Well, to try out. You know, some people like these. These, you know, they got the striker here. You know, some people like them. I don't mind them if they work. Most of the time you get it and the flint's gone. So you don't have any. And I don't even know where you buy a new flint to reload that at. Maybe like a smoke shop or something that sells that kind of stuff. But it's super clean. A couple nicks in the vent here. I don't know if this is the correct color for this year. But that's what that came with it. Made in the US Globe. The bell will clean up. The collar's gonna clean up. This is gonna clean up great. This is just, it's not rusted. It's just dirty. And that nickel's gonna just shine. Make sure it's got some fuel. Let's see what happens. little 200 action. It's got no date on it. Real nice font. Sticker's kind of getting faded, but figured we'd have a Canadian light up this morning. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out for this quick video. At the end of this video, I'm going to throw a bunch of clips from this weekend that I took. And it's just a couple videos. I didn't want to put cameras in people's faces and stuff. And since it was my first gathering, you know, I wanted to just kind of experience it instead of filming it, you know, and kind of get to know people. But it was a great time. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.